Alright, hello everyone, my name is Shep, welcome back to the Butcher Circus, and today I'm going to be playing with a stress team with 4 direct healers. So someone suggested that I should play a team with 4 healers, but since I've sort of done that before, like quite a long time ago, I played a team with a Crusader, and I think it was a Flagellant, and then a Musketeer and an Arbals, and it was just a good old damage team. I thought, wait, what if I do that in a stress team? What would that be like? Because we all know that stress teams love to stall and love to keep their characters alive until the afflictions come through. So if you have 4 healing characters and you manage to get your opponents afflicted, then that's gonna be really fun, right? Yes, that would be true, except having 4 healing characters is way too many, and it has put me in a spot where my stress output isn't very good. But before we get into that, today we're gonna play against the Ghost, and it looks like this shadowy person is playing with a duty team. Not only is it a duty team, it's a Crimson Hook Antiquarian taken straight out of J-Man's book, so I can very much respect it. Now, I did just eat a massive punish to the face there from a spiked bat Flagellant, very cool. So I think I could go for the block of light, but that's probably not worth it at this point, even though the protection is always good. Maybe I should have dropped it because of the Hound's Harry. It might do 0 damage with the protection if I manage to get him down to this store. I'm not entirely sure. I could still drop the Block of Light next round. It won't really make too much of a difference. It's just that, you know, I'm kind of missing out already. Just a little bit missing out. But I don't know, I also like to do this analysis. But yeah, I have a Crusader here, a Vestal, a Musketeer, and an Antiquarian. So you might be noticing that there's no flash because he doesn't have like an always available direct heal like the Musketeer or whatever. There's no Man-at-Arms because he doesn't heal, there's no Abomination because he only self-heals, so really your core stress characters are gone in this situation, which is obviously not ideal. I'm gonna go for this to give myself a little bit of accuracy, and I'm gonna go for probably a Festering Vapors. I feel like I've already misplayed this. I have no idea what I'm playing with. Let's be honest. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do with this team. It's just a weird advanced team that I've got going. So I'm going to waste one of the accuracy turn, one of the turns with the accuracy buffs on the Antiquarian. It's gonna be perfectly okay because I'm probably just gonna spam regen on her anyway. So I'm not gonna need the accuracy for the Festering Vapors regardless. I'm just gonna spam stunts and stealths and hope that it works out at the end, because the regen is very helpful here, of course, so let's see if we can make that work. Now, I'm thinking that I really have to stun this Flagellant because it just hurts me a bit too much, so let's do that. It's a 95 to stun with the trinket setup that I've got, so there we go, we get the stun on him. And yeah, in terms of how the trinkets are set up, I have the Crusader Parade Fighter's Helmet of Execution, so quite a chunky front line, so execution is just gonna hurt and do a lot of stress at the same time. He's pretty much our main stress dealer here. Even if we were using these characters aggressively, he would still be our main stress dealer. Zealous is the most solid stress ability that I have going here. The Vestal has the Dazzling Light and the Illumination, both doing a very tiny amount of stress, but then she has Comfort in position too, so I think some of the base game enjoyers would very much enjoy this Vestal pick. I think this is what you actually do in the base game, because it gets to a point where Divine Grace kind of sucks and you just start spamming Comfort, so I think this is what that sort of person in the PvE game mode with sort of do. And of course she has double stun trinkets because you know, I need a little bit of oppression on my side if I want to win a match such as this one. Now, do I have a guaranteed hit chance? Plus 18, I have 108 accuracy. No, it's not guaranteed. Well, in that case, I'm gonna go for yet another ranging shot, and then I'm gonna drop a Zealous. I could have dropped a heal here on the Vestal, but since she's not quite dropping to that store just yet, I can drop it the next round, and I'm perfectly okay with it. I'm just gonna give myself a little bit of accuracy here, make sure that I do hit on the Houndmaster, and yeah, next Zealous is gonna bring him down to 0, which is pretty good. Of course, my opponent also has heal and regen and self-heal and regen, and of course, Flagellant dropping down to 0, he will heal the Houndmaster, so it's gonna be a long way before we actually take one of their characters out, but we're gonna slowly move toward that goal. So they go for a critic Sanguinate, and yeah, that is a critic Sanguinate and a half, critting me with their 85, you know, with their 80% hit chance, goes for it, gets a crit, and also self-heals with a crit on top. So that's really the Butcher Circus experience right there. Now I could heal with another character, but what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna click and heal myself, because regardless of what character I heal with here, she just has way too much bleed on her for me to actually be able to heal and then click and then she, you know, not be at this door. It just simply wouldn't work in this situation. This is when this team is actually going to shine, because they can bring me down to this door, but they really cannot kill me, and they cannot kill me with stress either. I just have too much ranging shots, right? Would it be better to have an Arbus here and have another direct healer? Maybe, potentially, but we'll see what happens. I'm actually gonna go for a bit of pressure here. I was gonna go for the Zealots, hope that I would get enough damage on that Houndmaster to bring him down to 0 to force my opponent to heal with the Plague Doctor, so kind of shifting the attention from my side of the team to their side of the team. That would be very helpful here if I manage to get that to work, but sadly I don't. But it's not the end of the world. I'm just gonna drop yet another Rejuvenating Vapors. So in terms of my backline setup, the Anti-Current just has pretty much her usual abilities, nothing really crazy. I'm not gonna bring Flash Powder into this, just have the Fence Ring Powders and the Regen and the Guard and the Take Cover to be a little bit safe, and then I have the Tears of the Lost and the Black Diamond Mirror, so she's pretty much as safe as can be. Even if she goes with the Resolve check, she has a chance to go Virtuous, and her Regen is really helpful. So that's why I brought her in here for. I could go for this, but the problem is that it actually pushes the Houndmaster, so then he'd be safe, which isn't really what I want at this point, is it? No, it isn't actually. It's not really what I want. So I'm gonna go for a Smokescreen instead, hope to get the debuffs to make sure that my opponent doesn't crit me anymore. The accuracy debuffs probably won't matter. These characters don't really have great accuracy apart from the Plague Doctor, but I don't have any decent amount of dodge apart from the Anti-Current, so I'm not really expecting those to work. Very surprised by the click here on the Houndmaster. I don't think that was a very good idea. It does come with some tempo by bringing my vessel down to this door here, so I do have to react to it unless I want to risk it for the biscuit. But the question is, do I want to risk it for the biscuit and just go for the Zealots here, bring them down to 0 and then go aggressive? I kinda do, honestly. I kinda do. And if I do that, they just heal, and then I can click and go for a stun, and I have Abusive. You know what? I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna go for the Zealots here, because it's gonna bring them down to 0 for sure. I have a confirmed hit chance, I do 8 to 13 damage, it's gonna get them afflicted as well. They could say no to the heal. Things could turn out very good for me. I wouldn't do this if their Houndmaster turn was still up, because that is their finisher character. So this is the character that I really need to take out. He's one that's actually planning to get all the kills. Of course 25s exist, but I'm hoping that's not the case here today. Is she gonna go for the kill or is she gonna go for the heal? If he says no to Abusive, can't say no to heals, but if he did say no, it would be quite funny, because then she could go for the kill on my Plague Doctor, but it looks like that's not going to be the case here. They're gonna go for Plague Grenade, they're gonna go for pressure on my backline. That's honestly weird. I don't think that's a good idea. By my opponent, I genuinely don't think that's a good idea here, because how many Death Blow shots do I have? I only have 2. I kind of want to get rid of the Flagellant action, that's the thing. I prefer getting rid of the Flagellant action than just going for a heal here, because after I heal, he just punishes me and then I'm dead anyway. So I could go for this stun, or I could hope that the 25 on the 40 works. But if it doesn't, I'll be really screwed. I'm gonna hope that the 25 on the 40 works, and I'm gonna go for the stun on the Flagellant, get him afflicted as well. Maybe it does something bad with the Raptures, you never know. But definitely make use of the Vessel's turn there, possibly our last turn, and now I'm gonna try going for the kill on that Houndmaster. I will have to Buckshot here, which isn't ideal, but it won't make much of a difference. I'll go for the Fence Ring Vapors first, just to make sure. And yeah, there's a 25% death blow and a crit at the same time, and extra stress on 2 characters, not just 1. So it really didn't go our way, let me tell you that much, but we also get the 25%, so it looks like there is justice in this role. This is turning out to be quite a fun match. This is gonna be close. Yeah, it's interesting because when it's these weirdo teams facing each other, it always ends up being closer than it was the meta comps, because they just snowball out of oblivion, and then you know, it's just, oh, this team is decisively winning or this team is decisively losing. When it comes to these teams, that doesn't really happen. Okay, I'm gonna go for the Brass Bugle heal here. I do have the Brass Bugle on the Musketeer, and I'm just gonna clear a lot of that stress because I don't really want to go Afflicted here. I don't think that'd be particularly good for me. I only have one Virtue chance and it's on the Antiquarian, so having that happen really wouldn't be too nice. We're gonna go for the Festering Vapors, they do bring me down to 0. Here I have a lot of Blight on me, so I can just click and heal myself, and I think this will be perfectly okay. I heal for the mineral, as I pretty much always do with the Danger of Iodine and with the Medic's Full Plate on the Arbals. It's either a mineral or you get a crit 24 on it. There's no in between. Literally no in between. That's how these trinkets work. And it looks like my Crusader is being punished here. Spiked bad value. Spiked bad value gets the bleed. Oh jeez, that's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate right there. Do I want to try countering it with a regen, or do I want to go for the Zealous into the Festering Vapors? Zealous probably doesn't do enough damage, sadly. It probably doesn't do enough damage, but I'm gonna go for it anyway. 8 to 13, yeah, it rolls for 8. Unfortunate. Sadly, I can't get rid of this corpse yet, so I'm just gonna have to go Zealous into the corpse. I'm surprised they don't go Rain of Stars. I think that would have been generally the better play, but you know, so be it. They have Volatile Concoction, so their blight chances have been very good so far, even though I have pretty decent blight resistance on these characters. It's just, oh, I did get a blight res, but it's still gonna be a blight on there. I could go Festering Vapors, but I'd make you drop down to 0, but that might generally be a buff here. I think my opponent is trigger happy on the Flagellant, so I think they will just go for the Exsanguinate anyway when they start. So going for Festering Vapors here would really only help them in this situation, so I'm just gonna drop a regen while I still can, and just take it from there. Hopefully it helps me out a little bit. Now the Musketeer is in a position where she can't heal anymore, so that's unfortunate. And yeah, my opponent is super trigger happy, and that's why you shouldn't be trigger happy with the Flagellant Exsanguinates. For two reasons. First reason, you lose a lot of pressure. If you have this here, it means that I can't hit your character because you just soak up the action, then you go for the Exsanguinate, like if you're at 1 HP. The other reason is that if you're at 0 HP, if you're at SNR, you actually get an extra 5 accuracy to make sure that this sort of thing doesn't happen. So that's why you usually wait a little bit. So I'm gonna go for this. They're probably gonna try to go for a heal, but it's okay. They heal for 3, and I saved my Antiquarian action to make sure that the Buckshot will do 3 damage, because Buckshot will do 3 damage, of course. And then the Crusader can go for the Gold Zealous Accusation with the rate of execution, so my kill shot's gonna be as good as it can be. I'm gonna go for the Rejuvenating Vapors here, which doesn't really help them too much. In this situation it could, but since the Flagellant is dazed, because you also daze yourself with the Exsanguinate, it's maybe not the best decision. Maybe just going aggressive there would have been a little bit worse for me, but keep in mind that the Antiquarian is pretty much trinketless. Now he says no to the heal. If he healed there, that means, that would mean, yeah, Rapture is saying no to the heal. That's actually really helpful. I might get the kill here just with the stress though. Maybe them going for the heal would have actually been beneficial to me, because then I could get the Death Storm stress, right? But this is gonna be a 35 to get the death blow now. No, a 45, because he already suffered the Death Storm check. And yeah, one more Zealous and he's gone regardless. I'm just doing way too much stress. Once again, Pitfighter's Helm and Rite of Execution, such a brutal duo of trinkets on the Crusader. He's a character that often doesn't get played in stress teams enough, because, not because he's a bad character, because he's sort of unreliable. In some situations, he's gonna do exactly what you're saying here. You're just gonna spam Zealous, and literally just spamming Zealous completely eradicate the enemy front line while he's tanky, pretty much impossible to kill. In other situations, he's gonna go against a stress team with an Abomination. He's gonna get pushed to the back, his Holy Lance is gonna do like 7 damage, and then he gets hit with a Panic Darts, with a Beast Bile, and before you know it, he's pretty much out of the match already. He just serves as a damage sponge for a couple rounds, and that's really all there is to it. Kind of a sad fate to the Crusader, but that do be how it is. And now I'm just going to try keeping this Crusader alive And you know, try keeping my other characters alive, of course, but really, all hands are on the Crusader here. This is his game to win. He's on the driver's seat right now. All he has to do is keep showing these little gals his papers, and eventually they will submit to him, and you know, have a heart attack because he's too hot for them. he's out of their league pretty much. I think Crusader is out of everyone's league here, honestly, apart from the Musketeer. She's the best gal. Okay, Crusader, you do your thing. Show them your papers. There you go, 10 and 12. That's very good. That's also going to be an affliction. And of course, since these are backline characters that do have heals, in the front line they no longer have heals, so that's really good. Oh, the Plague Doctor doesn't have Incision. Oh, I want to punish this so bad. I want to keep her alive and kill the Antiquarian and force my opponent to surrender. That would be really fun, but I only have AoE abilities, so I can't force that. Yeah, I very sadly can't force that to happen. That's so unfortunate. I really wish I could just have like Smite and Aim Shot here and then just take out the Antiquarian. But I really have no way to do that. But yeah, my opponent does surrender here because honestly, if this was a 2v2, then maybe you have a shot. But with a Crusader here and with me still having a healer, it's pretty much impossible. So let's go for match number 2. Alright, and here we go straight into a match number 2, and this looks almost, just almost like a ship stress, but it isn't really. However, I do know one very big weakness to the ship stress, which is when the position 3 character goes to position 1. So I'm gonna be forcing just that, but in the reversed way. Instead of going for a pull, I'm gonna go for a double push. However, the Musketeer lets me down. Oh, I don't have the push trinket. Of course she lets me down. Oh, I'm so sorry, because when I first made this team, I actually had an Arbalist, and I gave her the push trinkets, you know, the weight bolas. So she had a 115% move chance. I basically just went for 45 and a 60, and hoped that it worked, but of course it didn't. And yeah, my opponent's gonna slam me now, and oh boy, this is gonna be rough. This is gonna be really rough. I wish I had accuracy buffs, but yeah, I have to go for the 58. It does hit, thankfully, but I don't really benefit too much from it, sadly, because, I mean, what am I gonna do with this 58? I'm gonna, you know, follow it up with a sniper shot. I don't have anything of the like, so I really have to be doing stress here if I want to win. I'm gonna go for... Wow! Wow! Crimson Hook Jester! Crimson Hook Jester actually gets the bleed on my Crusader. This Crusader does not want to resist bleeds today, let's be honest. I'm thinking of just moving back, but then they can just slam me again. Oh, this team is nasty. Yeah, I mean, it's just an abomination, like literally just his most bread and butter ability, and I'm calling it insanely nasty. Yeah, it's that's the state that we've gotten to. They do have Reign of Sorrow, so this is gonna be a nightmare to get through. And they also have Hound's Area. I'm gonna try to regen my way through it. You know, just regen and ranging shot with the Brass Bugle. Just hope that I can clear all that stress. Also give myself a little bit of accuracy, and at the same time, just regen my way through the duties. But it's gonna be easier said than done. I could try to bully him, and I will. It's not gonna work for the first few rounds, but then I'm just gonna try to bully this Jester out of the match. Because if I manage to bully him out of the match, at least he won't drop a finale on me, so I'm gonna be moderately happy with that. So to effectively bully him out of the match, I'm gonna go for the ranging shot now. It's gonna clear a lot of stress. If I get the 85, which I do. Sadly, this ability has an 85% chance of clearing stress, and I've been trolled by it one too many times to know just how well this ability can screw you over. But yeah, thankfully it's only a 15% chance, but yeah, I mean, you can get screwed over by like 2% chances in the Circus, so don't expect a 15% not to screw you over. I actually forced my opponent to go for a guard here, which I have absolutely no way of dealing with. So that's unfortunate, but I guess I'm a stress team, so I'll just stress your other characters out. So let's do just that. 10 and 13. Okay, decent amount of damage. I'm playing against yet another Flagellant, but thankfully neither of these Flagellant had Gods of Absolution. My opponents aren't really Darkest Rank, nor do they have... all the trinkets, as you can very well tell, but they still have a very good game plan, and they have reasonably good game knowledge. This Flagellant has a Bleed Trinket and a Finisher, the Houndmaster's Attack Whistle, Pit Fighter's Helm, the Jester has Bleed Chance and Accuracy, the Abomination has these two trinkets, both quite helpful. So you can tell that even though my opponent is a newbie, they know what they're doing, more or less, sort of. And their team actually looks reasonably good. It's like a DOT stress team, mostly DOT. I like it, I like what they're doing. It's really cool to see novices actually starting to get the hang of the game. Really freaking cool, because you know that this person in like 2 weeks is gonna be beating me in my meta comps, potentially, maybe not in the best of 5, but this person's definitely going places. That's what I'm trying to say with the sort of team that they have built here. So this Antiquarian is once again getting bullied by the Reign of Sorrows, and I suppose I'm just gonna move back, right? At this point, you just move back. Yeah, let's just move back here, move back, and then start going for stalls, because the Vestal really isn't doing too much in position 1. Not when I can't even Hand of Light the Jester, so let's just do this and just try to enjoy ourselves. Sadly, this is mostly a bleed team, and I don't really have a way of dealing with it. Oh god. They have 2 buffs, and they have Eagle Eye Talisman, so their damage is definitely enough to kill Antiquarian. If I give her Prot, maybe it isn't enough. Emphasis on maybe. Should I heal her preemptively though? Oh, it feels terrible to do so, but I really have to, because if I lose her, it's game over. Yeah, if I lose her to a finale here, it's game over, so I'm really hoping that doesn't happen. If my opponent tries to be greedy and go for the Crusader here, they definitely don't do enough damage. They might have a little bit more than 11 to 20, but I have 35 Prots, so it's really gonna shave down that Jester damage. We're gonna go for a Rake to shave my HP down, so definitely a good play by them, but I'll bring it right back up with a Divine Comfort. So I'm gonna sacrifice my long-term pressure just to give myself a little bit of short-term safety here by just going for the heal. They're gonna go for the Hound's Rush now on someone, right? Oh no, they're gonna go for the Honseri. That's whack. Actually, that's a little bit whack. I guess in that case, I will click. I will not take any duty, and I'm gonna Bulwark here. I could go for a heal, but honestly, that's too much healing action. I have to do something else here, because I can't let my opponent just sit back and keep dropping duties and just trying to heal myself out of that start constantly. I need to get something going here, so I'm gonna grab some protection just to hope to save myself, and yeah, they're just gonna keep spamming Harvest. They're gonna happily keep spamming Harvest, I might add, and now I have to go for a guard here. I mean, I don't have to do it immediately, I can go Festering Vapors first, or even Regen if I wish to. Festering Vapors or Regen? Regen. Let's hope that Regen works, and then I'm gonna guard and hope that that works as well. Ooh, I'll be at this door though. I don't have any death blow chances that bypass guard. Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of things that bypass guard. They have, I could just go take cover. As well. They passed, the madman, he actually passes. Yeah, I wish I had a stun on there, but I could stun the doggy and then the Jester, but I could have done that the previous round, but I was taking enough damage on my Crusader, so I decided to just go for the preemptive heal and try to save myself that way. And you know, I tried, but might not work here. If I go for a heal, how much does she heal for? Oh, she heals for a bit. She heals for a fair bit. Let's go for it. She has healing received, so I get a 12. That's a mineral, once again. Thankfully, yeah, of course, I get yet another mineral. They could do enough damage here with the finale. They probably don't know the numbers. But yeah, they could do 15. They could, but it's a bit, it'd be a bit risky, because they're probably doing like 12 to 22 against the protection I have, and with the Eagle Eye Talisman. There is now a graph in the Discord server if you do want to know the accurate numbers with, like, you know, 1 damage trinket against like 5 prot, 10 prot, 15 prot, and with all the damage numbers on the finale, like if you have 1 buff, if you have 2 buffs, if you have no buffs. So that's quite a cool chart to have around. Thankfully, I don't really... Oh, they dropped the guard, actually. Wait, this is crucial. They dropped the guard, so I can just go for this. I think that what they should do now that they're stunned, is that they should maybe just move back twice with the Abomination, and de-transform and move back twice with the Abomination. Oh no, don't slam me, no, not again. Not the slam. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, game saver right there. I'm taking 9 DOT damage. I'm chill. Do I want to go for Zealous now? Or do I want to regen and then go for Zealous? Because if I do that, they might move forward. But if they move forward... Oh, freaking Flagellant. Ugh, such nonsense. Would I rather Zealous now or Zealous later? Zealous now. I need to do some damage to this Jester. I need to get him out of the match. I can deal with a Flagellant's healing by just healing myself. But if the Jester just bypasses my healing capabilities with his finale, I'm just gonna be in a terrible spot. So let's do this. I'm gonna sacrifice a bit of the regen because I'd rather hit the Jester right now. And I'm gonna drop yet another one. So it's been 4 rounds of regen. It's stacked up reasonably high on most of my characters, but sadly still have to bleed. So not really the perfect outcome for me here. Really wish I had aim shot right now. Really wish I had a good old damage team to counter this DOT shenanigans, because my opponent doesn't really have a lot in the ways of defense, not even Reclaim here on the Flagellant. This team is really lacking. No dodge on the Jester either, but I could go for a Hand of Light here. How much damage does it do? Ooh, 6 to 10, that's generally not too bad. But I'm gonna go for the stun instead, because it's a 95 and it's getting rid of 1 action, so it's overall better. And the hit chance is 90 compared to an 80 as well. There's no world where you don't go for the stun. Next one's gonna bring you down to the star, and then my non-existent finisher character will try to finish you. Are they gonna go for the stun themselves? No, they're gonna go for the Respire, which is annoying. It is annoying, but it's not the end of the world here. Do I go for the smoke screen before or after? Before. I go for the smoke screen now. And I do 3 damage. Oh, that's brutal. I don't get a single debuff though. I suppose I do have a defensive setup here on the Musketeer. If you look at it that way, like if you bring debuff trinkets to debuff your opponent's offensive capabilities, it's technically a defensive trinket that you're bringing, right? But it isn't. The trinket is meant purely for your offensive abilities. Like, imagine if I had like an Eerie Eye here for 12 accuracy and 20 debuff chance. Its sole purpose would be to make my opponent not hit me as frequently or not crit me, so it would technically be defensive. It's interesting how that works. How much damage am I taking? I'm fine. How much damage am I taking? I'm fine. So let's go ahead, click, drop another regen, and just hope that it works. They're gonna go for the Rain of Sorrows now, which is really gonna hurt. But it shouldn't do 4 damage unless they get a very lucky crit. And even if it does 4 damage, I do go first next round, so I should be okay to just drop a heal then. And yeah, the bleeds keep adding up, but I forced my opponent to, like, look at this. I forced my opponent to guard with their Dogged turn. I forced my opponent to Bile with their Abomination. That's not too bad, but I forced them to move once with the Flagellant. I forced them to pass a turn with the Jester, which means that my regen can sort of kinda catch up to their, what do you call it, to their DOT. So that's how I'm almost staying alive here. I'm not really staying alive, but I'm trying to stay alive. Should I go for the Festering Vapors now? That is the question of the century. Or should I drop yet another regen? I'm gonna go for the Festering Vapors here. I'm not gonna go Zealous because the Flagellant just heals the other characters. And boom, 1 death blow. Wonderful. You know how that action could have turned out? Miss. Actually, not miss, would have been dodge. That's what could have happened, but thankfully I get a hit on everyone. I roll for the 25 and I get 1 of them, which is really freaking good because that means no more Abomination. Super helpful. That's also super helpful, but for my opponent, not for me. However, here's what I can do. I can go for the Dazzling Light, which is gonna miss. Oh, it doesn't even miss. That's so good. I feel like I should have just dropped the what do you call it? I should have maybe just dropped the ranging shot here to give myself 10 accuracy and also clear some stress, and then go for the Dazzling Light, but I don't, and well, this is gonna be annoying. How do I stop Finale? How many buffs? 4 buffs. And Eagle Eye Talisman giving a tiny buff on top of that. Yeah, my Antiquarian is a goner. I'm really sad to say it, but I don't think I can heal her for enough, even if I try. I will try, of course. Or do I? Do I try? I think she's a goner. I really don't think it's worthwhile to even try saving her here, because my opponent is doing with this amount of buffs, they are typically doing 16 to 29, which means that I'd have to heal for like 12 and then heal for like 6. So I'd have to get really lucky with my heals to try saving her. I know she has prot, but I don't think that's worth it. I think I'd rather just go aggressive here and maybe get rid of the Jester that way. If he does drop a finale, he's basically down the character anyway, and my anti-Karn has done a lot so far. So I think if I am in the position to afford losing the character here, will they go for the finale is my question. Yes, they will drop the finale, and yeah, crit 31 anyway. It's just, it wouldn't have mattered. It really wouldn't have mattered. They're just doing way too much damage. With 4 buffs, it's a little too much. So if I had dropped 2 heals there, I would be down. I would be up a lot of stress. I'd be down 1 accuracy buff, and I would also be down 1 Zealous Accusation. So it would have just been a complete disaster if that happened. But thankfully it didn't, so hooray, hip hip hooray for the Shepherd Doggy, and I will just drop the Zealous Accusation here, because that's what we do now. We drop Zealouses, and we hooray for my characters. Okay, the Flagellant goes Rapturous, as they of course will, and now my opponent's gonna be forced to pass a turn here with their Houndmaster. Well, not really, but they're gonna be forced to take their turn with the Houndmaster, and then I can make someone pass their turn. That's what I want to do here. Now they have 35 dodge, which... I have an extra bit of accuracy. That's... how much accuracy is that? That's 125. It's not a guaranteed, Shepherd. It's not a guarantee. Do I really want to go for the guarantee here? This could cause an act out, believe it or not. Do you do stress with the act out? No. I was hoping that the ranging shot, since it's an offensive ability, it can cause an act out, so the Flashlight could be like, clearly I'm taking the burden, and you know, the Jester goes afflicted from that. That would have been wonderful. And it also gives me accuracy, also gives me minus stress taken, and reduces my stress substantially, so that's what I was going for there. You're gonna go for the Spiked Bat punish, and of course they get it. They have Spiked Bat. Spiked Bat is just based. And I'm gonna go for the stun now. 135 accuracy, as my brother always says. There's a 135 everywhere, you just gotta know how to look for it. And it looks like he was right, you just gotta know how to look for it. It's everywhere. You should not go for this action here. Oh, that's greedy. That is very greedy by my opponent to go for their action right there with the Flagellant. They need to go for a heal here, or I'm just gonna get rid of him. We're gonna go for the Exsanguinate. Does hit. Was I below 40% HP? I'm not entirely sure if I was. But they do go for it and they do apply the bleed, so that's a bit unfortunate. But I'm gonna go for the Zealous now. 9 and an 11. So there's always a 135 reference, and there's always a 911 reference. I don't know what it is with the Circus, it just likes these numbers. It's very bad. One of them, the other is good. I'll not tell you which one. It's pretty obvious which one's good. My brother is the good one. And now, how much DOT do I have? I'm taking 18 points. I have 16 HP with the regen, so I will be dropping to this store here. Oh, but I gotta go for it. If I don't get rid of the Flagellant, it's GG either way, right? I'm such in a terrible spot still. I mean, I'm very likely to get... Oh boy, okay, that's definitely not the play. I was not looking at the torch right there. Oh my god, I gotta wake up. I gotta wake up. That's gonna lose me my match. That's genuinely gonna lose me my match. Oh, jeez. Okay. Chill. What am I doing? 2 to 3? 5 to 8. I can go for a stun next round. I just gotta do this now. I just gotta do this now and then go for the stun next round. But what if they guard? Till then, I don't know. I don't know. This pass in the guard, aren't they? They're smart. They're smart. They're gonna guard. You're gonna guard! Oh god. Why did I do that? Why did I go for the Dazzling Light? And oh, why did I pass? Not why did I go for the Dazzling Light, why did I pass? Oh jeez, okay. I'm in full panic scenario. I'm in full panic mode right now. This is a horrible scenario. I'm going to heal myself here. That's generally the best thing I can do right now. Just use my Vestal action for something productive. They're gonna go for a punish here, but they won't. They're gonna go for the exsanguinate, which they also shouldn't do, honestly. That's just kind of a waste. But I will heal myself here. I don't want to die. I do not want to lose my character. So heal with Musketeer, because then I won't be dropped down to Death's Door by either Harvest or Dark Snap, unless the Dark Snap crits, in which case it will bring me down to Death's Door. But they go for a Harvest instead. Do they get the bleed? Oh, they don't! Even with the Crimson Hook, that's massive. Now my Zealous hits 2 characters, but it would be really cool if it was hitting both the backline characters. I've had that happen once, actually. Hey, I get the crit on the corpse. How unnecessary. I love it. But yeah, I've had that happen once, where I was playing with this team that had, it was called, what was it called? Was it called Vendetta? I think it was called Vendetta, and it had an Abomination, a Man-at-Arms, a Houndmaster, and a Vestal. And basically, my Man-at-Arms and Houndmaster were both in the back, and they were both guarding the Vestal and the Abomination. This was against 135 J-Man. And what would happen in that situation is the end. J-Man was playing his Howler, so he had a Musketeer and an Arbal, so he was going buckshot into my front line, and it was hitting both my backliners, which was really quite hilarious. It was an insane match in the best of 5. I was just playing with that Vendetta team, and this was in a format where we had decks, which basically meant we had 4 predetermined teams, and we could ban one of them for the opponent. And then we had to play with our 3 teams, and since it was a best of 5, we had to win with each and every single one of those teams. So the more teams that you won with, the easier it would be to pin down what you were going to play with. So basically, after winning like 2 matches, your opponent would know that that you'd have to play like the damage team, or you'd have to play the strength team, so they could try to counterpick it. It wasn't so easy in best of 3, so you only have to win twice. But in the best of 5, you'd have to win with each and every single one of your teams. So if one of your teams was faulty, you would definitely notice it if you got very far in the tournament, which I did. I got really far in the tournament. I got all the way up to the grand finals, and those were the grand finals. But however, my brother was just far too good with what he was doing, and literally beat my Vendetta team 3 times, not in a row, but he beat it 3 times. I was unable to win with that stupid Vestal stress team 3 times in a row, probably because I played it poorly. I went and rewatched the matches like years later, literally years later. I rewatched the matches. This was a long time ago, and I did sadly do some misplays, which led to my downfall, but you know, what can you do about it? Well, what I can do is not make the same misplays again, and just go for the kill here on the Chester. I sacrificed the Vestal's life to go for that, and now I still have a very chunky Crusader in the front line. The enemy Flagell's running out of heals, he's getting very high on stress, and all I have to do here is survive for basically a few rounds, and then the Crusader should just sweep this pretty easily. The Musketeer will try to support him, and the Crusader will just drop a few Zealous's, and we should be okay here. Is that a bleed? No, it isn't. No spiked bad value. My opponent's getting so gypped on those on the RNG chances right now. That's being very helpful. Look at this. Yeah, both characters down to this store, doing a little bit extra stress to the Houndmaster because he was at this store. So why didn't you get the death vote check? Well, when the Flagell dropped down to 0, he healed the Houndmaster out of this store, and then since he dropped to this, Jesus, another crit redeem. Oh my god, this match. This is outrageous. This is really outrageous what my opponent is doing here, but okay, sure. I have to ranging shots just to not get afflicted, and also give myself accuracy, but this is really outrageous that they got both crit redeem heals. That's insane. But yeah, I bring they bring the Houndmaster up a bit of HP, and then I bring him down to this store, doing a bit more stress, so it is helpful for me. Sort of helpful. So, a 9 and a 6 on these characters, and 1 more Zealous. If it's a good hit, it's GG on this Flagell. So if I get a good Zealous hit now, he's a goner. He's gonna go for the guard dog. That does help with the stress taken, but it will not really help with the damage. So if I just roll for 9 here, he's gone. And of course, I roll for 8. The one roll I couldn't roll for on an 8 to 13, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 6 numbers with a 7% crit chance. So a chance to roll for, instead of 13, rolling for like 16. And I get the 1 I couldn't. And I'm legit going to lose the match now because of it. Wow. I just had to hit that Zealous and do more than 8 damage and it would be GG, but now I think I'm going to lose this. I think I'm going to lose this because both my characters are at this store. The Soundmaster is still quite alive. He's selfish, but the act-outs don't matter at all. And my opponent does have a lot of minus stress taken. They go for the Houndsary, they don't get a kill. They don't get a kill. They go for the Zealous here. I don't think it does enough stress anymore. Goddamn guard dog, that's unbelievable. They don't have exsanguinates, maybe Raptures does something dumb. They're both at this store. Oh my god, this is too close. This is too close. You're gonna go for the punish. You're gonna go for the punish on the Musketeer. That's a good play, but at the same time, is it? Because my Crusader is a much more important character. Oh god, not masochistic. No, ain't no way. Ain't no way I go masochistic. Okay, no act out. Alright. All I have to do is hit the Zealous and it's GG. It's a 58. It's a 58. Come on! Wow! Wow! Both were crits! I got a double crit Zealous. Look at all the corpses were gone. Both were crits! Look at that! And we take it. We take the W. Jesus, that was intense. Wow. I was not expecting that match to be so intense there at the end. I thought it was 1. But that freaking Zealous rolling for 8 really screwed me over a bit. Wow, the Crusader, he really doesn't disappoint us. He really is boss of this gym. Pretty much solo carrying this, honestly. Like, the other characters were just trying to be useful. Like, okay, so they were healing a lot, so they pretty much enabled him, but still. What a great job that this Crusader did. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you again another time. Cheers.